Disease by Asia Albright. So, what's a disease? A disease is a disorder of overall structures or functions in an organism, especially one that produces specific signs or symptoms and is not a direct result of physical injury. The term disease was first coined in early 14th century France from the word disai, meaning discomfort or inconvenience. The societal response to disease is something that has changed vastly over centuries. To elaborate, things that we might see today as problems may have been observed as advantages in earlier cultures. For example, in modern times, obesity is a condition that is constantly being fought against in both youth and adults. On the other hand, to be obese in, say, Italy in the 1600s was a staple of upper-class citizens. So what's changed? You might be asking yourself why it is that we began treating bodily afflictions with such a strict hand, as opposed to letting them go the way that we used to. The branch of science that deals with the way that a society responds to disease is called medical sociology. Earlier work in medical sociology was conducted by Lawrence J. Henderson, an American scientist that lived from 1848 to 1946. Henderson's interest in the ideology of how certain factors can affect the human body inspired one of the most influential scientific theories in society today. This theory was the quote-unquote social role theory. It explains the boundaries that should exist between healthy people and those with ailments. Even though today it just seems like common sense, it's not something that was really thought about much before the mid-1800s. There still exists today a difference in the response to certain diseases in certain parts of the world. Take epilepsy for one. In America, it's nothing more than a burden to be carried by anyone affected by it, whereas in some parts of East Asia, it is viewed as a spiritual gift. This proves that how we perceive different conditions of the mind or body is completely reliant on the sociological history and development of the culture in that area. So why does it matter? Believe it or not, every human has been fighting off disease since the day that they were born. Each of us is equipped with a system of our bodies dedicated to keeping us healthy. Our immune system consists of a huge arsenal of different weapons made for specific services. Firstly, we have various lymphoid organs that produce specialized white blood cells called lymphocytes. These tissues can be found all over the body, from the nose to the blood, intestines, throat, you name it. These lymphocytes are produced in our bone marrow, and certain ones are even active within the bloodstream. The battle doesn't end there. We as a society have developed countless man-made defenses to infectious disease. After hundreds of years of studying how diseases are developed, contracted, and how they affect the body, we've come up with vaccines, pasteurization, antibiotics, etc. Disease has become a standardized thought in everyday life. Think about how many times you wash your hands every day, how clean your kitchens and bathrooms are, how sterile an operation room has to be just for anyone to be allowed to set up equipment. The precautions we take to avoid becoming ill and our reactions to someone around us is ill. The threat of disease is something that's on our minds every day. And as hard to understand as it might be, it was only something thought about every once in a while before the 19th century. In fact, the first antiseptic didn't become popular until 1870. Even today, we're still developing new ways to disinfect and keep things clean, especially with agencies like the CDC and FDA operating every day to ensure that health remains a priority in everyday society. It's something that we should care about because if we were to stop researching these diseases and what they might do to us, who knows what would happen.